20 years, 2 decades of showing up every day, giving your all. Then one morning, you get the call. Your position is eliminated. Just like that, loyalty, dedication, and sacrifice mean nothing. And you're left staring at a life that feels suddenly broken. This isn't just one person's story. It's the story of thousands of adults who wake up to find the ground beneath them gone and have to figure out how to rebuild while the world keeps moving. They had worked at the company for 20 years. Every project, every late night, every extra mile had been for the company, for the career, for the future they were building. It wasn't just a job. It was part of their identity. They had bills, a mortgage, a spouse, 2 kids, and the quiet hope that their loyalty would pay off in stability. Weekends weren't always for family, but for pushing through deadlines, mentoring new staff, polishing presentations. They smiled through the exhaustion, believing that all this effort would be recognized. They pictured a long, steady career ending with some peace of mind. Maybe a promotion, maybe a corner office, maybe just a quiet pride that comes from being the reliable one. And then, one ordinary Tuesday, the email arrived. Their position was being eliminated. Redundant, no warning, no discussion, just a corporate decision. At first, they stared at the screen, thinking it must be a mistake. Then reality sank in. 20 years, gone, in a single afternoon. The family felt it too. A spouse who counted on the steady income, now worried about bills, college tuition, the mortgage. Children asking questions they couldn't yet understand. Why can't you go to work tomorrow? Are you still going to buy me this? Even the dog sensed the tension, pacing while the adults argued quietly in the kitchen. And the betrayal burned the most in the soul. Because it wasn't about performance. They had exceeded expectations, mentored dozens of employees, took on extra projects, stayed late while others left, and yet they were disposable. It wasn't personal, the company said. But of course, it felt personal. It felt like every sacrifice, every long night, every skipped vacation had been meaningless. If you've ever been blindsided like this, you know the sinking feeling. The mix of shock, anger, and fear that swallows your entire world. They had to suddenly redefine what it meant to be valuable. Not just at work, but in life. The first night after the layoff, they sat on the couch, staring at the walls of their home, the hum of the refrigerator loud in the quiet kitchen. Family around them, but everything felt different, uncertain, fragile. Their spouse reached over, but even comfort felt hollow. The kids asked small, innocent questions, but each answer carried the weight of fear. What happens now? We'll be fine, but it might be different for a while, they replied, unsure if it was true. They looked at their own hands and wondered, who am I without this job? 20 years of routine, skill, relationships, pride, all gone in a corporate memo. The identity they had built, the self-worth tied to work, seemed to vanish overnight. And yet, even in the raw despair, a tiny spark remained. The thought, I survived this far. I can survive what comes next. This isn't rare. Research shows that millions of Americans over 40 face sudden layoffs each year, often after decades of loyal service. It's not just about losing income. It's losing the framework around which a life was built. The psychological impact is profound. Depression, anxiety, and identity crises spike in these moments. Families feel it too. Spouses worry about stability. Kids sense the tension. Relationships strain under financial and emotional pressure. And if you've ever been there, you understand. Loyalty doesn't always protect you. No one can guarantee fairness in a corporate system, and sometimes the most dedicated employees are the most vulnerable. Here's the truth. Work can fail you, Systems can fail you, and people can disappoint you. But you are not defined by the job. You are not defined by the title or the company logo. The path forward isn't easy. It means rebuilding, rethinking, and discovering parts of yourself that never needed a paycheck to exist. It means learning to measure your worth not by external validation, but by the resilience, creativity, and courage you bring every day. Your family sees it. Your children see it. Even in the darkest moments, they learn from your fight, how to face adversity without giving up. And one day, when you stand on the other side of this storm, you'll realize that losing the job didn't break you. It taught you how to rebuild yourself, stronger, smarter, and more grounded than before. You can't undo the betrayal, but you can redefine yourself. And that is worth everything. If you've ever been blindsided by a layoff or struggled to redefine yourself after work stopped defining you, subscribe. Share this story with someone who needs to hear that losing a job isn't the end of your value. Comment below if you've had to rebuild after a career shock. Your experience could help someone else see the light through the storm. Because life can take away stability in a single afternoon. But your strength, your identity, and your courage, those no one can take.